failures isn't the end, it's the beginning. Welcome back to Second Bloom Journey, where every story begins with purpose, power, and potential. I'm Thủy Trương, and if you are new here, this is your safe space for navigating life and cultural transitions with confidence and grace. I'll never forget the moment I found out I didn't get the promotions I had worked my heart out for. I worked above and beyond, delivered with high impact, and then hearing, "Sorry, your scope of work isn't big enough to go to the next level." Ouch! I felt worthless, like I didn't belong, like a fraud. But here's what surprised me. That disappointment became my spark. I realized that if a title wasn't going to define me, then I had to define me. That's when I created my 3Ps framework. Purpose, why I show up every day. Power, how I own my voice and influence. Potential, the hidden capacity I can grow into. So questions turned my pain into clarity, and my clarity into a mission to help others go from just surviving at work to truly thriving. Today, I'm sharing the 7 exact hacks that took me from heartbreak to my life's work. This isn't just rah-rah motivation, it's a repeatable framework you can use to turn any setback into your stepping stone. Hack number 1. Reframe failure as an experiment. Failure isn't a verdict, it's data. Sarah Blakely Das used to ask her and her brother every week, "What did you fail at?" If she didn't have an answer, he was disappointed. That completely rewired her brain. Failure became a teacher, not an enemy. That's what I did. I stopped asking, "Why me?" I started asking, "What does this teach me about my purpose? What's really driving me? Where do I want to grow?" Once you see failure as an experiment, you get curious. You start looking for data such as patterns, not punishments. Act like a mad scientist. Look at the data with zero emotions and design your next experiment. You're not a victim of failure, you are a student of it. Hack number 2. Build your comeback board of directors. When we failed, our instinct is to hide. I did that too. I called the people who would comfort me. But comfort alone doesn't create a comeback. You need to build a team of truth tellers. I call it my comeback board of directors. Mentor, someone who's been where you are and can show you the map. Challenger, the person who calls out your excuses and stretches you to grow. Supporter, the rock who reminds you of your worth when you forget. Collaborator, the one in the trenches with you, brainstorming next moves. This is how you reclaim your power, not by going it alone, but by surrounding yourself with the right voices who see your potential before you do. Hack number 3. Build resilience as a daily practice. Resilience isn't magic, it's muscle. I started keeping what I call a resilient record, a mental trophy case of all the hard things I've survived. Every time my brain whispers, "You can't handle this," I have proof. Actually, I can. Here's the evidence. And when the shame spiral hits, I reset through my body. A quick walk, 60 seconds of HIIT, or 3 deep breaths. It interrupts the overwhelm and reminds me I have more potential than I think. Hack number 4. Deconstruct to reconstruct. Big failures feel like unclimbable mountains. So stop staring at the summit. Focus on the next stone. After my missed promotion, my goal wasn't just get promoted. My first micro goal was get clear feedback. Then pick one skill to improve, then practice this in a project. Then repeat. Each step gave me a dopamine hit and slowly build a path upward. That's what thriving looks like, not a giant leap, but consistent steps in alignment with your purpose. Hack number 5. Spotlight what didn't fail. Failure makes us hyper-focus on what went wrong, but some things always go right. After a failure, do an asset analysis. It's like looking at a car after a fender bender. Your first instinct is to see the dent, the broken headlight, but an asset analysis forces you to check the engine, the tires, the transmissions, all the parts that are still working perfectly. Ask yourself, what skills still shine? What relationships are still strong? What value did people notice even if you didn't get the outcome? For me, I realized everyone praised my event management skills. They didn't see my cross-organizational collaboration skill. So my engine was fine. I just needed to get out of a survival mode and start showing my work. Spotlighting what's strong helps you stand in your power again. Hack number 6. Practice transparent self-leadership. Honest self-leadership is a bridge between survival and thrive. I started doing my own after-action reviews. What was my goal? What actually happened? Why the gap? What will I do differently next time? Notice I didn't ask, whose fault was it? Blame keeps you stuck in survival. Truth moves you toward with clarity, and clarity is the first step back to purpose. Hack number 7. Adopt an agile mindset. So final and most powerful hack is stolen from the tech world, an agile mindset. The old way to build a career was to make one giant 5-year plan. That's like trying to carve a statue out of a single block of marble. One wrong move and the entire project is ruined. The new agile way is totally different. It's like building with Legos. You build something small, test it, see if the tower falls, learn why, and then build it better every single week. This is the ultimate power move because it makes failure a normal part of the process, not a crisis. So forget the rigid 5-year plan. Build your comeback like Lego, one block at a time. Vera Wang's story is one of my favorites. She failed to make the US Olympic figure skating team. She was passed over the editor-in-chief role at the Vogue. Instead of letting that define her, she pivoted and launched her bridal business at 40. Today, she's a global fashion icon. She kept iterating, kept learning, kept stepping into her potential. Your comeback works the same way. Try something small this week, learn from it, then pivot. So 7 hacks become my personal roadmap. They turned my lowest moment into the spark for my 3 P's framework and my missions to help team from survive to thrive. Failure isn't a stop sign. It says pause, learn, and reiterate. Every person you admire has a trail of failures behind them. They just turn that trail into staircase. Now it's your turn. What's one lesson a past failure taught you? Drop it in the comments. Let's build a library of resilience together. And if this gave you a spark, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's turn setbacks into superpowers together.